Hello and welcome to how to get a jazz tone for recording at home. So I'm using this machine by Henriksen. It's their amp, the Bud, just put into a 2-channel box, which is just perfect for your computer. So I just have a line out going straight to my Apogee Quartet and into Pro Tools, and it's recording. So when I'm playing, I'm going to mute this mic, the shotgun mic I'm using for talking, to where you can only hear this going to the computer. That's the tone I'm getting. It's a super powerful unit, but really what you want to do for comping, if you look right here, is just kill a little bit of the highs and boost a tiny bit of the bass and low mids. Now what I really like about this unit is this knob right here. It's basically giving you a gain control and a volume control. And the problem with a lot of jazz amplifiers is that you can't really control the amount of saturation you're getting in your sound, and things tend to get plinky and not wide enough. For a rock player, controlling gain is essential because it dials in your gain, and for a jazz player, it's the same exact thing. You want what they call pre-gain to be pretty high, right? So you see where I have it set, and it really makes things feel like they're alive and connecting. It's sort of just swelling the notes, compressing them maybe even a tiny bit, not in the way that you would with a distorted sound, of course, but still to a level. Now, this kind of setting really allows me to comp really well. So I'm going for warmth without things getting muddy. My guitar right now is set up with the tone knob a little bit rolled off, right? But this is the tone knob on 10. It's not dark. Still, I can hear a little bit of the quality of the guitar, right? It's not muffled. It doesn't feel like I'm throwing a blanket on it when it's on 10. When I roll it off, I want to be able to dip into that territory of kind of like Jim Hall Metheny tone, right? And this is the tone knob on like 5. Here it is on like 2. So I don't really get to that territory. But some people really like that woman tone type of jazz tone. I like it brighter, so I keep my tone up around 8. But I set up my amp a little bit darker. That's the secret, right? So you want to roll off a little bit of those annoying treble frequencies, because when things get too bright and too stringy, some people are really into that acoustic guitar almost sound that Kenny Burrell and people like that get. But for me, that's not the tone I'm after. I like people like Metheny and Wes Montgomery. It's a darker tone that has brightness in it, right? So this kind of thing where it's stringy but warm is what I'm really after. Now, what I really also like is the reverb that they have inside this unit, which is just the right kind of thing that you would find on a polytone. It doesn't sound like spring reverb, it's just very good for jazz playing. So let's just hear this in context over a track real quick. So let's check out a solo tone now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crank the reverb a tiny bit to get a little bit wetter, add a little bit more of the low end, especially that knob right here, right? This low mid thing. It's very good for our needs, and even make it a tiny bit brighter right there to get a little bit through the mix. So the tone's gonna get to a place like this. It's a subtle difference, and obviously if I'm at a gig, I'm just setting it one way, but since I'm home, I get to dial things in a little bit, get the tone that's in my head. The big takeaway from this should be that if you're trying to get a guitar tone that's going to sit nicely with brushes, with upright bass in a mix, you really want to focus on warming up your low mids without getting woofy. You want some sort of unit like this that has a gain control, but really is dialing in sort of the input. It's kind of like boosting your pickup or something without driving the amp. You don't want any distortion, but you want the notes to sort of connect to each other and give you that flowy kind of feeling, which I really feel is the key element that's missing in a lot of jazz type tones. Things get too stringy, and also nice reverb. So I highly recommend this Henriksen stuff. It's all in one box. You can actually have two settings on two separate channels, have them both hooked up, one for comping, one for leads, have it all dialed in, which is really the two tones that you're after when you're tracking in your studio, trying to get something, and then something that connects straight to your computer to where the room is not an issue and it has cab simulation inside it. That's pretty key. Cool, I hope you dig this. The link to this unit is gonna be in the description. And we have a Patreon. Join our Patreon. Link is going to be down there too. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the stuff. And also, the backing track that you just heard me play is available on our backing track channel and is linked below if you just want to jam along. See you next time.